There we go, we're recording. So my name is Sharon Whiteman, and this is our Australasian Saturday morning training. And this has been happening weekly for several years now, probably 13 to 15 years. And we're still as excited and proud to be here each and every week as we were when we started. Mantech is a fantastic company. And for those of you new to this information, I know we'll have many guests on the call today. I'm probably listening in the future. You know, we sound a bit of like a fan club, and you know, I'm an ex-critical care nurse. I got sick and I was introduced to Mantech technology. When I gave it the time to evaluate and take a good look at it, look at the information, I realized that this was something different. I realized it made sense. And if it wasn't the full solution to my health situation, it had to be a part of it. And, you know, now it's 20 years down the track and I still could stand on street corners bragging about our technology. And so as you hear, we have an extensive wellness range that is unique and nobody else has, and really important. I think everybody on the planet should be on our glyconutrient technology. And we've expanded to include a TruHealth fat loss range. And our fat loss is also unique in that nobody else has what we have. Nobody else has something that focuses on the low GI system, that's vegan, that's all natural, except for a couple that aren't allowed, small ingredients that aren't allowed into the Australasian TGA situation because they're very strict on natural ingredients, which doesn't make sense, I know, but we need some progress in that department. And it's assisting people in a global need, because right now, you know, and it's not always about overeating. Sometimes it's about being malnourished, and when our body starts to hang on to more fat. So, you'll hear today that people are uncomfortable when they're not in a comfortable body weight. And so it's such a blessing to be able to provide something that services people in assisting them to make those changes in their body. So usually we just start kind of in alphabetical order, which would mean Brian would start first. So Brian, I'll just unmute you.
Hello, yes.
It looks like Julia. I can hear you, Brian.
Good.
So everybody, don't be fooled. Brian, you guys you prefer not to use the camera?
Just having a few difficulties, but Brian's got
no
a male voice, so you can tell he's a male.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it's great to be able to see the person, but that's definitely, it's more important for you to be comfortable and to work within your technology, because there's nothing worse than struggling with technology. So Brian, tell us about your TruHealth journey. How did you get started and why did you decide to make this choice?
Well, just that I did have an overweight fat problem, and I was actually in denial about it. And so Julia, my wife, kept pushing me. I said, no, I'm not overweight. I'm all good. But then I went to the doctor and realised that I did have a bit of a health issue as well on top of my fat problem. So they were saying that this, I don't know the doctor terms they use, but there was a problem with my sugar diabetes issue sort of come into play a little bit. And that sort of shocked me a fair bit. So I thought, oh my gosh, I better do something about it. So I decided I will go on the program and give it a shot. You know, being overweight. So, I checked out the doctor and he said that, well, you're in poor shape, you're in poor health, so you've got to do something. So I decided to go on this TruHealth program because I've seen the success that I had before, other people. So I thought, wow, this product is a good product. It actually really works. So I'm going to give it a go. Yeah. So after being introduced to it, getting involved and seeing the great results for other people, I thought, well, it worked for me as well, like I was just saying. And so, so I decided to be with the centres that were there. Another reason that encouraged me was that the first prize of having the money as well, but keeping my eyes on the prize of losing that weight and becoming healthy again, staying that course. At the end of my 90 days, I'm going to be a different, healthier person. So that was a real incentive for me to be committed to the program. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so what was your journey like?
It wasn't easy. So, because they had the commitment, not only of taking the product, but for me, I wanted to be fit as well. So I took the product, had my yummy breakfast, which was consistent of scrambled eggs, mushrooms, and kale with my shake, which I had with I loved having berries in it, give that really nice flavour with the berries. So I had that, and then I'd go on a training program. Like I hop on my push bike and go for a 3 or 6 kilometre ride. I do sit-ups, do push-ups, and really to be committed to this program. I wanted to be successful and losing that weight. So committing myself not only to the drink, the shake, but to the exercise, to combine the two together to have that loss of that weight that I needed to have that change. So that was really a real bonus that helped me. And staying focused with the eye on the prize of losing that weight, like I was saying, was a really important mindset, to having that mindset of commitment and staying that course and doing a regular everyday commitment to that. Not just a one-off, today I don't feel like I'm not going to do it. No, because then there's no point, because once you lose that momentum, you lose the focus as well. So keep that momentum, keep the focus, and stay the course. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's great advice. So, and I know that you have a family that you're very dedicated to, Brian. So I'm sure part of that health concern was also a motivation for you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to get to the point where you leave your excuse me, your unhealthy state. If you leave it, you're going to get worse and worse and worse, and to the point it will come to a crisis where you never know what might happen down the track. Become so overweight, you're going to have heart problems or breathing problems or whatever health issue might arise from that, or sugar diabetes could eventuate. And I didn't want that. That actually jolted me as well and helped me to decide to go ahead with the program. But in 12 months' time, I didn't want to have a health crisis or end up in a hospital, so that was a real factor as well. Yeah, sure.
And what was your results, Brian? Did you lose? I know we really advocate for looking at the measurements as opposed to the kilos, because the fat is measured more in size and clothing size rather than weight.
Yeah.
Because you're wanting to hang on to that heavier muscle. What was your experiences and results?
Oh, it was great. To lose, I actually lost 43 centimeters by memory, and and to have that, it's a confidence booster. To have to not to be overweight to the degree where I was again a real confidence booster for me. I made my concept a bit more happy of my days, because I wasn't going around, because I was actually quite depressed being overweight. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, look at me with a big belly, and I just felt lethargic, and I just didn't feel the spring that I wanted to be, in the step that I wanted to be, jumping and bouncing, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have that, because I was just like, I don't know, depressed and just feeling down. So I wanted to be healthy for my children and have fun with them, run around with them, and all the exciting things that I couldn't do before. And after the success that I encountered with this True Shape program, that was a great result at the end of it. Not only for winning the weight loss, but my lifestyle changed. And it was just really good. I was more free and able to do things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do before. Yeah.
Fantastic. And did you have any particular hiccups or things where you had to troubleshoot or recommit, or was it smooth sailing for you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I had one of the major things against me was I had a sore back, because in my younger days I used to be bricklayer by trade. Okay. And I had a severe back injury. And the pain was just sometimes unbearable pain, and that was a real factor against me, because some days I get up in the morning and my back was still really, really sore. so I couldn't go for my walk sometimes or my push bike rides. So I was limited to what I couldn't do. Even though, so in those days that I saw, instead of going on push bike ride and doing my training exercise, I would just do little walks as much as I could do, which actually helped me, but it was against me. So I had to fight through and push through the pain barrier, so to speak, and just be committed, you know, and just keep going and run the course. Yeah.
And did you find yourself getting hungry, or did you have to get creative around snacks to keep you going?
Yeah, I did. I was hungry sometimes because I have a very fast metabolism.
Right.
So I would just have another shake, basically. Yeah. So, and I ate nuts as well. So that all the protein was good. Now, if I was really, really starving, I would have another protein, you know, injection, like with nuts or another scrambled egg or something like that, a bit more mushrooms and that. So everything I had was complementary to the shake. So I didn't, what was the word we used? I didn't sabotage, yeah, the effect of what the fish shake could have for you. Yeah. So yeah.
Brian, that's fantastic. If you're able to stay till the end, I wouldn't mind asking you just some final thoughts, but I'm sure that's given people some inspiration. And I know, you know, well done. I know it takes a lot to do that, and it's not the easiest thing. And I can really clearly hear that you made a decision, and that was what was really important to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
No worries.
Thank you. And Chrissy.
Hi.
Fantastic. I know I've saw your story on stage, very inspirational. Brian's keeping up the male side of things for us, and the rest of us women take up the baton. So Chrissy, tell us about your journey.
I've been struggling with my weight for pretty much half my life, but I had my little girl 8 months ago. She's here. There she is. You'll hear her. I've been pregnant 3 times, and each time really struggled putting a lot of weight on. So after having her, I had tried the TruHealth system before, about 2 years ago when it first came out, and had really good success with it. So I knew it worked, and I wanted to give it a go again. So the first 12-week round, I actually started using it before the challenge late last year. So before the 12 weeks and after the 12 weeks, I lost 22 kilos on the challenge. But since having Rebecca, I've lost just over 40 kilos. So that's been an amazing journey for me. I've still got a long way to go. But I just wanted to get to a size where I could actually move and enjoy life, not be stuck not being able to do anything. I love getting out and being fit and running around with my kids, and I couldn't do any of that. So I just wanted to be a normal size again.
And how did you make that decision? Like, I know for those of you listening, Manatech, the company, often offers regularly a fat loss challenge. And for some people, that extra incentive of going for a prize and also doing it together in a group can be very attractive. Was that a factor for you?
Yes. I think it was shortly before I had Rebecca that they announced the challenge was coming on. And I think she was 6 weeks old when it started. So that definitely was a big thing. I knew I wanted to do something, but yeah, that added benefit of knowing the challenge was starting at a particular time. She would have been 6 weeks old, so I knew I would be okay to start the challenge by then and being able to do a bit more exercise. I wasn't able to up till 6 weeks because I had her by cesarean, so the timing worked out perfectly for that challenge. So definitely that was a big motivator to go, and the prize money was definitely a bit of a motivation, but not, I can't say that actually was the driving motivation for me. It was more just I've got to get rid of this weight. It was really holding me back. And to have a little baby and be that overweight and just not functioning very well wasn't something that I wanted to do. So, hang on, let me pick her up for a second.
So, can you imagine all these busy moms out there having a tool like this that helps them be everything they can be as a mother? So, hello, Rebecca. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
She's a bit sick at the moment. She's teething, so we didn't have a good night last night, so both of us are a bit tired.
She can talk to us. And so, did you ever have any hiccups at all, or at any time you felt like giving up, or if you felt like that, what do you recommend?
During the 12 weeks, I was really motivated. I didn't have too many issues. The first weekend, I think I said at the conference at Manasek, the first weekend of the challenge was my birthday, my best friend's baby shower, and a couple of other events. So that was probably the toughest of the 12 weeks. I didn't have too much of an issue with it, but I probably ate a bit more than I should have. But being special events like that, I tend to let myself, I don't go crazy, but just enjoy what I'm eating. She's gonna suck on my headphones in a minute. But at the moment I'm struggling more because I'm not getting good sleep. She's lost the headphone. She's not sleeping well at the moment. So I'm really struggling making good decisions with not much sleep. So that's probably my biggest thing at the moment. I'm just struggling. The shakes are amazing because they're so easy to make up. So as I have that for breakfast and that starts me well during the day. But because I'm not sleeping well, I'm not doing the exercise that I want to do. And that kind of puts me in a bad headspace. If I can get up, do my exercise, go for a big long ride, come back, have a shake, I'm 80% guaranteed of having a really good day with my food. But if I start off not getting much sleep and not being able to get out and do my exercise, the shake is still a great start to the day, but I end up not feeling too good, and I can often make bad decisions where food's related. So I'm probably struggling more with that at the moment than during the challenge. During the challenge I think I just had my eyes on that 12 weeks, just get it over and done with, do it and go. And that's why I did so well so quickly on that. So it's definitely getting harder now. But hopefully she'll get back into a good sleep routine and get these teeth out of the way, and we'll be going again, hopefully.
Fantastic. And I know from my experience, one of the things in being on the fat loss journey myself and also coaching others, is it's really important when you have those times where you're not 100% on track for a day or a week, or right now could be a little while for you until Rebecca settles again and you lessen that added stress. It's best just to see it as this isn't forever, isn't it? Like this is just a short term. Yeah. And I think
you've also just got to be a bit kind on yourself as well. So if you have a dodgy day, pick yourself up the next day and try again, and not beat yourself up with it. Because that's been my biggest problem in the past with any system I've used, and I'm sure this system is the same in that regard in the mental space. If you allow yourself to get in that place where I had a bad day yesterday, so let's just keep going, that's where it really becomes a problem. But just to be kind to yourself and start afresh each day, or just start afresh after you've eaten something you shouldn't have, and not let yourself get down, and which is easier said than done. But just to be kind to yourself and know that it is a long process. It happened really quickly in that 12 weeks for me, but now I'm getting closer to my goal. It's also a slower process as well. So there's a lot of factors in there.
And were you able to look at it as a lifestyle choice? Like, this is my new lifestyle, that I'm integrating this into new habits, and this is just me going forward?
Yes. For the last couple of weeks, I've just been doing 1 shake a day. I was doing 2 shakes a day during the challenge last year. And that is an easier lifestyle choice. It was hard during the 12 weeks making meals for the rest of my family and not being involved in them. It was hard to not eat them for starters, especially if they were good. But yeah, now doing the breakfast, my shake breakfast, so I make sure like my eldest is ready for school. It's such an easy option, just having that shake. If worst comes to worst, I make it and I throw it in the car and eat it and drink it while I'm driving. So that's such an easy option and an easy lifestyle choice. But missing out on other meals during the day to have a shake isn't an easy lifestyle choice when everyone else is eating. So now I'm trying to incorporate that lifestyle choice into my whole family. So we're eating better for those meals. And yeah, trying to make it a whole family thing now.
Absolutely. It's going to have a knock-on effect for, the health of your family going forward. It's such an inspiration to be able to make those changes, because you're going to be impacting generations by this choice.
Yeah. So that's the plan. Hopefully get all the family on board.
Well, healthy eating, it's something that, it's so important now, with the level of toxic stress and decline in quality of food. We have to find a way to do the best we can is more important now than ever. So anything else you'd like? Is there any particular snacks that were helpful for you? Because I think it's another thing that I found on this journey is it's really important to make sure you have healthy snacks available. Make sure you have your, a fridge full of healthy things so that the choices are easy.
I got a couple of recipes off Robin Sully and her group. They had some recipes for some bliss balls, I think you call them. There's a whole lot of them out there, but using the shake as a part of that, and I would make up a whole lot of those. The only problem with them is they're so good, it's hard to stop. Only a few. So, but yeah, I would make up a whole batch of those and freeze them in portion sizes in Ziploc bags. That was the only way to guarantee the right supply at the right time. So they were great. Nuts were definitely a really thing. I would also just make up a whole batch of Snaplock bags with different kinds of nuts, but just keeping everything in portion sizes was what kept me on track most of the time. So as long as there was something available and I couldn't eat the whole bag of it, then that was my trick, just to keep everything in its own little Ziploc bag and portion size.
Fantastic. Again, obviously you have to prioritize Rebecca, but if you're available to stay to the end, I wouldn't mind just touching base with you again before we finish.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
No.
And Donna, just unmute you.
Good morning.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us about your TruHealth journey.
Well,
why did you start?
I guess mine was, I was already an associate, I was already taking product, and the TruHealth came out, so I started using it. Yes, I have some fat to lose, and what that looks like in kilos is probably somewhere around 5 to 10 kilos. But it was more about the convenience. It was about the nutrition that was in the product, and about just getting myself really out of that food slump and start to, enjoy cooking again and enjoy making really healthy options for the family, and just sort of tweak what we were eating a little bit more. That was the biggest motivation. But convenience is a really big thing for me as well. And, I have definitely seen change in fat loss, without a doubt. I've seen change in my body shape. And I was doing a fair bit of exercise back when I started this. And whilst I was getting change from that, what I really saw was when I added the shakes in, the body composition did definitely change. And with myself and the others that I help, the common denominator is your body shape will change, and you fairly quickly can start to see results through your middle section, which is typically where we all hold it. So it was more, I guess, just general health and getting back on track with good eating and tweaking that a little bit more. So
Fantastic.
I was going to say, I struggled initially with the shakes. I'm one of those people. I've seen a few comments on the community, and I was never someone that enjoyed shakes. So I did struggle with the taste and the flavour. So you've just got to be committed. You've got to be committed to what you're doing and find a way around it. And I did that through putting in different fruits and veg and, just cutting through some of that flavour and taste. And now I have it in water and it's just so easy. And you notice it. If you don't have it in a day, you don't have it for a couple of days, you notice the change in your energy levels, things like that. That's the side of it for me, is all that health side.
Yeah, I can identify with the taste of the shake at the beginning, but it was only like, say, a week, and then I thought, I can't remember why I didn't like this, because it very quickly grew on me, and actually now is a pleasant flavor for me. And I particularly like, I know, there's pros and cons to adding anything into them, but I love them done in a NutriBullet with frozen berries. I just love it. It's just like a treat.
Mm. Yeah.
And so was there any other times that you felt challenged other than the shake? What did you do to overcome challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. The first time I did a 3-day cleanse, like that's the second and third day, was really tough. And it was, I was hungry, and it was just going through that change and altering, what you're putting into your body, obviously, and the body was going into probably a bit of shock as well. So it was, I've always loved veggies, we've always eaten a lot of veggies, but it was just even fine-tuning that more. So probably a good go-to for me is, even if you don't make up your own sort of veggie soup, like a broth, and you buy a really good quality one, just grab that and just throw in some, bok choy and all different green vegetables, and sit down and have that, because for me that was a real comforting type of meal. I love things in soup broth. So I use that a lot, so that you still you're not overcooking your vegetables. Nuts are tricky for me. I love nuts and I don't like to stop. So I try not to do too much of that if I'm really in that, being a bit stricter on myself. I think, having some bliss balls that you can nibble on, put them in the freezer so that you have to bring them out and defrost a few, and then they're not readily available. There are certainly challenges with finding just good little snacks. Avocado dip was another one that I'd use, and just, use your veggie sticks in that, things like that. But now, as time's gone on, and as what I found as I've changed the eating and just fine-tuned it a little bit more, and it is a lifestyle. I think if you take it on with the mindset of a lifestyle, then you will have, better success for the long term. I don't find that I'm hungry now. Probably, if anything, in recent times, I'm probably looking at my food intake and saying maybe I'm not eating enough. The shakes are really filling. I'm just having them on water. So just, making sure that you're maybe putting a little bit more into your body I've gone a little bit the other way, I guess. And that's purely just because I'm not hungry, for no other reason. So I think, boredom. I have gone through that stage of boredom with the shakes. So again, go back, instead of having it in water, go back and put some, pineapple and mint and ginger and things like that is one that I really love in the vanilla. And the other one is you don't always have to drink it. So, mix it up with a really good quality natural yogurt or a coconut yogurt, mix it together and just put enough coconut milk or a little bit of water just to get the right consistency, and sit down and eat that with a spoon, so that you can be sitting at the table with the family and having your breakfast. So I think just finding those ways to mix it up so that I didn't get bored was one of the big things for me.
Fantastic. And what kind of results have you experienced?
My scales, and this is, probably typical of what we talk about, is my scales didn't change a lot, but I did lose, I got up to about 10 centimetres around my middle. Mm-hmm. And that was huge. That 10 centimetres made such a difference to me fitting back into a lot of things in my wardrobe that, I'd moved out. So that was a really good feeling, and just, the energy levels increase. I don't know what else you could have as a full nutrient meal that would give you the healing and repair that this does to your body. And that's what I see a lot with a lot of people that I help as well. It's not just the fat loss, it's actually what it does for you on the inside, outside of the fat. So I saw a lot of change there in my body shape and my body composition. That was the huge one. And losing it around the middle, which is often the hardest place to lose it, first place it goes on.
Fantastic. And is there anything that you'd recommend for anybody other than what we've spoken about? Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, I definitely, I see a change. I feel a difference within myself when I do 2 cleanse sticks a day. Now, when I'm in that mode of being focused and, okay, I really want to do this next 30 days, I really want to make some changes in my body. On my nourished days, when I take 2 cleanse sticks, I just feel a change. GI Pro, definitely. Make sure that you're eliminating well. So I add that in, and also the catalyst, which I think is really important for it as well. And the other things, I think to look at outside of just this nutrient side is if you're really, really struggling with it, and the fat tends to be hanging on, obviously there's some tweaking you can do, but maybe also look at the hormonal side of the body and get that more in balance as well. So, they're the areas that I work on.
Fantastic. And again, if you have time to stay till the end, I'll touch base with you again.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Donna. And Kate, persistence is key. You made it.
Good morning, everybody.
That's a pain when you're having internet problems, isn't it?
Oh, phone, internet.
Well, thanks for persisting. We're grateful that you're here. So tell us about your TruHealth journey.
Well, I'm actually on my second journey at the moment. The first one I did last year, the same as Christine. So that was very, I think I found the start making changes, especially with having kids around. Just the biggest things were shopping, not putting those extra things in that you don't need, and the temptation. So we had to make it is a lifestyle change because it's just changing those little things. And I think when your husband and kids can get on board as well, it can really make it a lot easier for everybody. It makes it easier for your motivation and to stick to what you're trying to do. So we just found little things, little lifestyle changes, and maybe not. I found sometimes I would just not go anywhere on the weekends because I didn't want that temptation of going out for lunch or breakfast or taking the kids for an ice cream and missing out. But it's definitely something that has made me realise that it's not as hard as people think. It's really so easy to change how you feel by just taking the shakes. And the first time I ever used the shakes, we didn't have the True Pure or the cleanse sticks, so it was just the shakes on their own, and just the energy from those by themselves, the natural energy you're getting from the plant base is amazing. I've always been somebody to enjoy energy drinks and things like that, so when I actually felt that buzz of natural energy without caffeine or anything silly like that's damaging your body, I was really surprised, and I love it. I used to take it before I'd go to the gym because the energy, it'd be a half an hour drive to the gym, so I'd get a good boost of energy and really feel good. So that's definitely something that kept me going at the start, was how great I felt, and that sluggishness that you obviously feel when you're overweight, that definitely jumped out the window when I started the TruHealth shakes. So, yeah.
And why did you start, Kate? What was your motivation?
I'm very, I've always been sort of on that bigger side and really struggled and tried to get any sort of, any diet. I've tried it, and And that it's amazing the technology that Manatech have provided us with what I just don't understand all these other companies out there that are selling off all these shakes and things, and it's really hard to find one that, people can't afford to spend money on something that doesn't work. And I knew that they had that 90-day money-back guarantee, and I'm definitely somebody that loves to give those sort of things a go. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just get my money back. That's easy. But I think it was just a kick in the butt for me. And after having my third child, I just no more kids for me, and I really want to get back on track and do all those fun things. It's no fun going somewhere with your kids and you don't fit in the seat of the go-kart, or just the little things that are big to the kids. So it was just something I needed to do for myself, and I knew the products work because I've definitely had some great results with some customers using it as well. So I knew it worked. I just needed to do it, and the support is basically what kept me going. I'm somebody that needs to be told that you need to just keep going, and and it will work out. So for me, the support that you get from everybody, not just your family, everybody else that's on the challenge with you, and people all over the world, all the little groups we have are amazing, and it's really nice to have that support from people that you've never met as well. So thank you, everybody.
That's an important element that we haven't really focused on, is that it's best not to do it yourself, do it alone, is it?
Yeah, I just see it's so much easier to commit when you've got somebody else, like, I'll meet you at the gym, or we're doing this, and having little weigh-in and measure days and things like that. I find if you're committed to those. Oops, am I there? Yeah.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah, something.
I just think being committed and having somebody along the track with you is always an easier option. But as I said, there's always that support from people everywhere. If you don't have anybody that you can do it with, you'll definitely find somebody that's going to support you in the Manatech family.
Yeah, absolutely. And that accountability sometimes is an important element I think the important thing to realize is that we're all different, aren't we? And you can hear from these different stories that our challenge points, while we have similarities, are also unique. We've got another family member, TruHealth family member, joining us.
Oh yeah, he's and I think just what Donna said about the scale's not moving. I've really found that on my second challenge at the moment. The scale's not moving much, which to me I get a little bit disappointed, but I don't know why, because I do tell everybody don't worry about the scales. But I do get a little bit disappointed, and I was a bit worried about doing a measuring on after my first 30 days, but I did it, and I'd lost 24 centimetres. So, the 4 kilos that I thought was a bit lame over 30 days, but when you do those measurements and get the results from the measurements are incredible, and people just don't believe that you can get those results from just centimetres. Especially when their scales aren't moving, people tend to get a little bit down. But definitely measure, because
it makes me think that's almost the number one thing. That's the most important factor, is to forget about that ingrained education we've had our whole lives and for generations about weighing. And that when you're looking at the most healthy way of fat loss is the low GI, and you're losing fat, not muscle, maintaining your muscle. The scales aren't the best measure of success. So that's a really important point that you just brought up, Kate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely just go by your clothes, I think. A lot of people don't. A lot of people say to me, I don't have a tape measure. So a good idea, I sort of say to them, is just get some string and measure, your waist, and stick it to a piece of paper and just write waist, and, and then next week, do it again, and you'll see your string go down.
Yeah.
You know, there's always ways to measure, and it's definitely the best option when it comes to wanting to see results is measure, because when you see those centimetres drop, you know something's working and you're doing the right thing. And it does. It helps you stay on track and keep motivated as well when you're getting those results. And the products give you the results in the first week. So if you measure, you'll keep going.
Absolutely. And what happened for you for troubleshooting? When you get stuck, or was it snacks, or was it avoiding things? You know.
I think food's a big thing for me. Being a chef, when I left my job to be at home, I found just the difference in having to eat meals at the right times and things like that when I'm not normally home for meal times. So just sort of getting those, eating at the right times and actually having the shakes instead of skipping those, skipping breakfast and things like that. So I did find that was hard sometimes because I did enjoy not having breakfast some days. Oh, it seems weird, doesn't it, that I enjoy not having breakfast, but I think that might be just something to do with my morning routine and how hectic it is. But I think that was a big thing, just making sure you're eating and following the system. If you're following the system, there's so many snack ideas and recipes and things. There's always something to have. And I just found I knew all these great, I know how to cook. I just had to start doing it a bit more and really adventuring into the green side of thing rather than the seafood and meat sides of things. So I think if you can just sort of, as Christine said as well about prepping those snacks, making sure you've got those things prepped up ready so the temptation isn't there to grab something easier. If it's easy and accessible, you'll tend to stick to having those snacks rather than having things that you shouldn't be having. So, and I found just a food diary to me was a really good help. Just writing down and everything I put in my mouth, basically. So if you just sort of do that and get that on paper and then you can look back at the end of each week and see maybe where you've gone wrong, as well, and just if you're not getting the results that you want, you look back and you go, oh well, maybe I shouldn't have had that extra 4 cubes of chocolate or whatever you had. But yeah, definitely keeping a food diary is something that keeps me on track, and also having I'm really a bit of a planner when it comes to meals and meal planning and stuff, so I like to have that all worked out at the start of the week and have it written down and we know what we're having for tea and it sort of psychs me up to have know what I look forward to tea time after having my 2 shakes a day. So our meals at tea are getting a little bit adventurous, and I don't know if the kids are enjoying it as much as myself, but there's so many options and just experimenting with new things and new greens that I'm finding at the markets and things like that I've never worked with. So yeah, I think it really is a lifestyle change, isn't it, when you look at it like that?
And what kind of results have you had so far?
So in the first challenge, when the TruHealth first came into Australia, I took the challenge and I dropped 13 kilos with that and 80 centimetres. So, I did have a lot to lose, and I'm still got a long way to go. But it's definitely something, as I said, that if you're seeing those results, I know the products work, so I'm always happy to keep going with them. But yeah, I think I did the last challenge. I also did another, I think 14 kilos. So yeah, it just sort of, I think the centimetre size, when I look at the clothes and my pants and, a dress that I wore to a wedding 2 years ago, I can't even believe that I was in that dress. So yeah, definitely the size is a big thing with your clothes. So I'm enjoying throwing out things that don't fit.
Well done, Kate. That's fantastic. That's what gives me goosebumps to hear, good people making new choices and having great results. It's just so life enhancing. So I'm just going to unmute everyone that's a speaker. Just give me 1 second. So I think I've got everyone. So I'd just like to, what's in your heart to finish with, to say, why would you recommend someone who may be sitting on the fence or frightened to commit, or, have done it, like Kate said, have tried lots of diets, so that sort of set your body on a path of hanging on to fat rather than letting it go, because what's this person going to do to me next? So what would you, and we'll start with Brian again. What would you recommend for someone who's scared or thinking about it, or any of those?
That's a good question, actually. No, I would just say, just commit yourself and just do it, because the results at the end are well worth it. Because again, you have that change of lifestyle that will enhance your life. This product is, like everyone's saying, is an amazing product, and it truly works. So you're not going to waste your time and effort on this program, because of the results that you will get will be positive results and give you a positive change. So you just take the jump and just go for it, because you will not regret it, because I haven't regretted it, and everyone else by the sense of it hasn't regretted it. So it's a real positive step for a good positive direction in your life. So yeah, just take the plunge and just leap of faith and just go, and you'll find the results will be outstanding and positive for you. Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic, Brian. Thank you. This is a program that's not skin deep, is it? It's like, it goes right to, in a very healthy way, all the way down to the deepest level of your cells. So definitely, it's like giving yourself a gift.
Absolutely. That's very, very true. Yeah, the benefits go way beyond skin deep, like you're saying. They just give you, all that inner health as well as just looking good and feeling great. You've got that stamina and strength and to maintain in your well-being. It just gives you that what you need to sustain for your goodness and your wellness. This product has it all.
Fantastic.
Sorry, you go on. Yeah.
No, that's great. Yeah. We can hear the enthusiasm, and there's nothing like that freedom of achieving a goal, and even the self-esteem it offers, and the inner happiness is priceless.
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, it's just it's amazing. It's great. That's the best word I can say. It's just great. It's awesome.
Fantastic, Brian, and well done. And thank you for being here this morning. Got to keep these guys on as part of it. They're so important for men, and actually, sadly, they usually find it easier for any of the men that are listening.
Yeah.
But well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cool. And then Chrissy.
I'm really surprised that I haven't been able to convince anyone else around me to give this a go, because my mantra is just give it a go. As Kate said, it's got a 90-day money-back guarantee, so why wouldn't you give it a go? And I've made a Facebook page. I've put it out there at what I've done and how much weight I've lost, what the differences is in me, and so many people are so supportive, but yet don't really want to put it in and do it themselves. So I was really surprised about that, because there are so many programs out there that you can give a go, and I've probably, as Kate said, I've probably tried them all as well, and they all have it works for a while, but I've been on this now for 9 months, and it's continuing to work, and that's something that I've never been able to do with any other diet or regime. So if anyone wants to give it a go, just do it. It's such a simple program. Everything's laid out there for you. If you follow it, you can't go wrong, really.
Fantastic, Chrissy. And I think that's another element that we haven't highlighted enough, is the sustainability of this fat loss. that it's not a part of a yo-yo thing. You know, if you, and you even don't have to stay on a strict diet forever, you just integrate the principles into your lifestyle, and you can maintain the sustainability of this. Because many of the yo-yo experiences people have after most diets, or most programs, is the fact that their body's actually starving underneath and not getting the nutrition. So the next level is that they gain at least 10 or 15% more once they're finished of what their starting weight was before. So that's where people really get into a real powerless cycle.
I've done that more times than I can count. But one thing I didn't say before, I've kept breastfeeding during this program, and that has been one of the big things I was worried about. Is everyone said you can't lose weight and keep that up. So I've done that. As you probably saw before, Rebecca is not suffering at all. She's going very well. The other thing is, when I'm sleeping well and in a better mind frame, I do a lot of exercise. I'm training for a huge bike ride, over 1,000 kilometres in a week, later in the year. I love doing triathlons. If I had more time, I would be out on my bike and running and swimming as often as I can. But this diet is sustainable for that as well. I do get a bit more hungry than just doing the shakes and an extra meal and a couple of snacks. So I have to be wary of that and plan that into my day. But it's sustainable for anything. It can keep me going doing that amount of exercise. So it really is good for anyone.
Fantastic. And that's another really good point, because these nutrients are really good for people that need to add in nutrition, healthy nutrition into their diet, not necessarily the primary goal of being fat loss.
Definitely.
Yeah, athletes, really important for athletes. Best snack, you just put it in, add water, away you go.
Yeah.
Chrissy, thanks for being here this morning. I know, especially you ladies with young kids, it's a big deal. We appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
And Donna, you're already unmuted. Perfect.
So I would just encourage people to look at this, to firstly make the decision that you are, while you're doing it, and you really need to do it for you, and clarify for yourself why that is. Is that for health? Is it for convenience? Is it for fat loss? And then, commit to 90 days. If you haven't tried this before, commit to the 90 days. You've got the money back guarantee. But in that 90 days, set yourself the first 30 days of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and decide how strict you're going to be based on what you want to achieve and what your needs are. And then after that 30 days, then reassess the next 30, and then reassess the next 30, because I think sometimes 90 days can feel way too big for people, particularly if they have a lot that they want to achieve in that time. And set yourself some markers and work towards those. Stay really, really close to your TruHealth coach, because they can help you tweak it to what your needs are, because it is, very, very versatile product. Whether you're using it from an athlete perspective, fat loss, or general health. So really stay close to them, and just be a little bit organised. And when you fall off the wagon, instead of beating yourself up because you had some bread or you had some chocolate, think about it. And I really, most times I see that people go, yeah, that was nice, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I did. And think about what you've changed, not what you've given up. So, I've got some people that were massive, Coke, and they're like, I'd have Diet Coke and I'd have bread and I'd have takeaway. Look back now and look at how often do you have those things, and they're not. So they're really having such a big lifestyle change, which will carry them through. So I think, if you set those things down when you start, and you give those to your coach, and then they can keep you on track. Get a buddy to do it with as well, if you can find someone even locally, and just stay in touch. Do your measures, weekly. I think is a massive help as well, and connect with the TruHealth community. because everyone ultimately has got the same stuff going on. And it's great, you know, I've seen Kate post some great recipes, and I've seen a lot of stuff from Chrissy as well, and motivation, she's out there training and all those sorts of things. So really, you know, connect into the communities that are available, and that's an awesome support to help you keep going. But you know, keep the positive and reflect on your change, because the change is where you will be for the long term, and that's why you won't put the weight back on like you do with other programs. This program is really teaching you how to change your lifestyle.
And that's such brilliant advice, Donna. It's great that one of the other added benefits is that you can become such a great coach through this to help others, because you can't keep this good news to yourself. And I think one of the elements that you just brought through there that we hadn't touched on is that everybody is unique. Some people need to really chunk it for success, just do 1 week at a time or 1 month at a time, and you can't do that long-term goal. And that staying connected with the TruHealth family, I think it's really important, because TruHealth, you know, I know you'd expect us to say that, but it is different. It is different than anything out there, and it will work if you troubleshoot it and keep it going.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Donna. Thanks for being here. That's brilliant. And Kate, wrap it up. What's your recommendation?
You know, something I really love about it is the fact that, you know, there is no rebound effect. And as I said, I've done a few, I'm on my 3rd challenge. And when I say I've done 3 challenges, like I've lost over 26 kilos and well over 100 centimetres since I started, and in 2 years. So, and every time I start a new one, I haven't put weight back on. I'm still at the same weight, which is awesome. You know, what program can you do that you don't get that rebound effect? And when you do make those mistakes, you can just go back and start fresh again the next day. You know, it's a lifestyle change. So if you can just keep doing those things that you are doing, it really works. And I feel amazing, you know, to be able to just going to events and things and actually wanting to go because clothes fit, and you know, I feel good about myself and a bit more, a lot more energy as well, and motivation with my kids as well. And I just think people need to remember why they're doing it, and it's really good to get those things written down maybe at the start, as Donna said. You know, remember why you're doing it, and maybe I like to work with people and write down why they want to lose weight and how they feel, and then when we can reflect back on that and in 30 days and say, look, you know, remember how you were feeling so horrible, and now you're feeling amazing. So, and if you do write it down, you can remind people of those little things as well that were you don't notice so much unless you write down. So, and also I think food, changing your food, you know, when you change your food and you do go back to having something that you shouldn't have, sorry, my children are being very loud at the minute. You know, when you do eat those things, it doesn't taste the same. You know, it doesn't feel good having that as well after you've been eating so good. So yeah, definitely an easy program to follow. And if you haven't heard about it, I would be getting back to the person that got you on this call and find out, because it really is life-changing.
Kate, thank you very much. Everybody, Kate,
You're
Donna,
welcome.
Chrissy, Brian, thank you very, very much for being here today. It's fantastic. I know it's going to help people going forward. And that's what Manitech's all about. So next week, again, we have Wellness Focus Call with Gloria and Diandra Hedege. And I think you'll want to be there. You'll be missing out on some pretty amazing thing. Oh, it looks like we have a question. Just 1 second here. Oh, no, it's okay. Somebody's just waving and saying hi. So thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Yeah, have a great TruHealth Manitech weekend. Love you all. See ya.
Bye.